Welcome to the Indiana 4-H Clover Call podcast, where our goal is to share information about the people and programs that make the Indiana 4-H Youth Development Program such an important part of our communities. We welcome youth and adult 4-H volunteers, 4-H youth and their families, extension professionals, and any others who are interested in providing positive opportunities for youth. We thank you for joining us for this episode, which begins now. Welcome to the November 2022 edition of the Indiana 4-H Clover Call. My name is Steve McKinley, 4-H Extension Specialist in the areas of leadership and volunteerism. And I am really excited today to have two outstanding 4-H alum join us on our program today and to be able to share with you some of their experiences, both past, present, and maybe even in the future. We'll see how our conversation goes. But I'd like to start off by introducing Amanda Deutsch and Kylie Bedel to be able to tell us a little bit more about themselves. And so, Amanda, we're going to start with you. Just kind of give us a little bit of your background in the 4-H program in Indiana.
All right. Hi, everyone. I am a 10-year 4-H member and 5-year junior leader from Vanderburgh County. I did a lot of projects during my 10 years in 4-H. I believe I hold the record in Vanderburgh County of how many projects you completed. I also took many projects to the state fair, and I've actually won a few sweepstakes, one of those being in fashion review for separates. I've went on many 4-H trips throughout my career, including the 4-H Academy, Roundup, CWF, and National Congress. This past year, I had the pleasure of being on the State 4-H Junior Leader Council, so that was a really fun experience. I am now in college at Purdue University studying design and construction integration, and I'm also a part of the Collegiate 4-H here now.
Wonderful. We'll get to talk a little bit about several of those a little bit more here coming up in the next few minutes. So Kylie, give us a little bit of overview of your 4-H background, please.
So I'm Kylie. I'm also a 10-year 4-H member and a 5-year junior leader member of Vanderburgh County. I held many officer positions and did many projects. Not as many as Amanda, though. Mine were more livestock based, and that kind of focused into my career and where I'm headed. Throughout 4-H, I also held one of the 9 pioneering positions of the state ambassadors, as well as attended trips for 4-H Roundup, Academy, CWF, and I'm currently on the 2023 SJLC Council. And I'm also now a member in Purdue's Collegiate 4-H.
Wonderful. So again, thank you for joining us today. And I think what we'd like to do next is get in a little bit more of the details. And one of the things that I know that happened for both of you recently is receiving an Indiana 4-H Foundation scholarship. And so if you want to tell us a little bit about what you received the scholarship in, I think that would be interesting to our listeners. So Amanda, we'll let you start with that.
All right. So I received the Premier Civic Engagement Scholarship this year. So this is for the community service that you do while in 4-H. So my community service that I did started whenever I attended the Global Gateway experience through Indiana 4-H, and we learned about world hunger. And our goal was to come up with a project to do in our community. Mine was to go to the Boys and Girls Club and have Fresh Fruit Friday and Power Protein peanut butter. So we gave out fresh fruit and peanut butter on Fridays in the summer, and also during other school breaks when we didn't have the backpack program. And then we also did lunch sacks during their field trips. I also did, during COVID, I did Zoom calls with them, doing little project activities because we weren't allowed to go into the Boys and Girls Club because of COVID. And the kids really missed doing activities with the people that would come in, like the volunteers. So we made packages for them and delivered it every week during the summer so that we could do little Zoom activities with them. And they felt like we were still participating with them.
Wonderful. Sounds really cool, Amanda. So Kylie, what kind of a scholarship did you receive recently?
So I received the Meat and Milk's Accomplishment Scholarship through the 4-H Foundation, and mine was based on my animal science or my animal background, livestock background in the county, in Vanderburgh County, and so different things I did was ag days. I presented animal byproducts, which was my favorite presentation. I did that 3 years before COVID, and then the year of COVID, I did record a video for them, and that's been currently still being used. I led multiple workshops. Goats are specifically my favorite. So I led multiple goat workshops to the local livestock club and different things.
Kylie, talk to us a little bit about the process that you took to apply for that scholarship.
So yeah, so I made a cover letter and a resume that entails all of the details that are needed for someone or an educator to see that I would be recommended for that scholarship. So I included 5 different life skills and had different activities that worked for that. And then I related it back to how 4-H and how it's improved my life and those life skills. And then I turned it in at the end of January. I heard back that I was selected for an interview. I went through an interview process, and then with county educators from across the state, who talked to me about my livestock experience, and then I ended up winning and then was awarded at the Leadership Summit.
Fantastic. Congratulations on that. That sounds like a relatively intense process, but you survived, and so that's good. Amanda, give us a couple of tips for someone that might be interested in applying for something like this. What would be a couple of tips that you might have for those folks?
So it definitely is a great opportunity to receive money to help you pursue your degree in college, because college is a great thing. Purdue is a great place. I highly suggest coming here. Not only is it a great place, but you get to continue your 4-H opportunities here. But some tips that I would have is, number 1, write down every single thing that you do in 4-H, because in our county we have achievement records, so we kind of have to write it down. But if you don't write it down, I suggest you write it down, just because you never know what you do that could get you a scholarship, because some person might think something you do is just absolutely amazing. And so I definitely would write everything down that you do in community service, or just what you do in 4-H, so that you don't forget what you do, because it can help you receive many different things throughout 4-H. Definitely just try and participate in everything that you can, because there are just so much great experiences that you can get in 4-H, and it just helps you throughout the rest of your life.
Fantastic. And so for the listeners thinking about doing some scholarships coming up in 2023, those applications are due on January the 25th. So you got a little bit of time from the time that we recorded this podcast today. Annually, the 4-H Foundation gives out about $125,000 in scholarships. And those are 2 different types of scholarships, one for graduating seniors, and then also the one that Amanda and Kylie have talked about this afternoon with the 4-H Accomplishment Scholarships. So take a look at the 4-H website, look under Get Involved, and then 4-H Scholarships, and you'll be able to find a little bit more information about those scholarships as well. Kylie, let's switch gears just a little bit now. And you mentioned in your intro that you were part of the inaugural class of the 4-H ambassadors. And tell us a little bit about that ambassador program and some of the things that you might have done.
So in the ambassador program, they initially attended a training the first week of State Fair. Sadly, I was not able to go, but I've heard it was a ton of fun. That's my fair week, so it conflicted just a little bit. But I know they talked to industry professionals, how to dress, how to represent yourself in Indiana 4-H in the best way. And then later on, that helped in events like the 4-H Summit. I've attended that 2 years now as an ambassador, and we get to check people in, be the face of 4-H when they come in the door, see that we're excited, we're happy, we're here, and we want to be a representation of all the great things that are in 4-H. Throughout my term as an ambassador, I've also went to 4-H Day at the State House in Indy. That was we got to take over Indiana 4-H's social media for the day as ambassadors. So we took pictures and videos all over the State House with all kinds of 4-Hers, and that was really great. I know there's also other events like the Purdue Alumni Dinner that the state ambassadors attend. I was not able to attend this year, but I know that it's a great environment to network for if you're going to Purdue, or just learning about different people that have come from Purdue, as well as they attend the opening day at the State Fair, which was really, really nice.
Was there a favorite aspect of your ambassador time that you'd like to share?
I really did enjoy the State House day. That was really fun.
And that was our first time for that in 2022 as well. And so I know that that is also being planned for early 2023. So probably looking the end of February, first part of March, somewhere in that time frame. So be on the lookout for that. And that's really any high school student and an adult that might like to come to be able to learn more about our state house and how government works. But Kylie, thank you for serving as the first class of ambassadors. We've got another class that's getting indoctrinated now and getting ready to go with what they're working on as well. So we appreciate you leading the way with that one. Amanda, let's talk a little bit about Junior Leader Conference. Actually, you and Kylie both have had the opportunity. We'll have had the opportunity to serve on Junior Leader Council. Amanda, you've already done so, and Kylie, you're currently in that process. So Amanda, tell us a little bit about maybe Junior Leader Conference first, and then something about your council experience.
So about the Junior Leader Conference, it's a really great week of fun. We do a lot of leadership activities, team building. It's really just a week to not only meet other 4-Hers from around the state that are in high school, but you can also learn some great things that you can take back to your community. I had a really great experience doing this. I met some great people from around the state, and this was the first time that we'd had it in person for a few years. So it's definitely a learning experience, I think, for all of us, just trying to get back into the groove of things. But I think it really came out well. And I really just loved meeting all the people because it we did it a little bit differently, picking the people on the council. So I got to meet more people from around the state and that weren't just, say, juniors and seniors that were older and had the leadership experience. We also had some freshmen, and they really brought a lot of good ideas to the table and just made the whole experience greater.
Fantastic. And so Kylie, you were part of the 2023 Junior Leader Council. You're the next class coming after Amanda's class. At the time we recorded this podcast, you haven't really had a chance yet to plan next summer's conference, but just to give all of our listeners an idea, there are about 14 council members currently who are responsible for planning the state 4-H Junior Leader Conference, and not just planning it, but they also will be responsible for leading it coming up in June of 2023. And so Kylie, as you think about the experience that you are going to have, the experience you had last summer at the conference as a delegate, give us some of your thoughts and some things you might be looking forward to.
So I'm really looking forward to just jumping in and seeing what we can do as a group. I know we come with a lot of ideas from across the state of Indiana. I know there's multiple from Vanderburgh County. That doesn't mean we all have the same ideas. I think we can bring a new level. 4-H and Indiana and everything is changing. So I think we can do innovating things with leadership and teaching different programs. I think it's just going to be nice to see what everybody's ideas are and how we can roll into that next step.
I think it's going to be exciting. It's always, from my perspective as one of the adult advisors, it's always exciting to watch the council members from start to finish, one year to the next, to see all the ways that the council members develop themselves as they grow and experience things, and then also to watch you as council members really lead a great conference for your peers. And it's a really rewarding experience for me personally, and I think it is for the folks that are part of it as well. So looking forward to that coming up as well. For you, the listeners, take note of this. State 4-H Junior Leader Conference in 2023 is going to be held June 13 through 16. It's a Tuesday through Friday, and it will be held at DePaul University in Greencastle, Indiana. And so if you have students, or if you are a student who will be in high school, grade 9, 10, 11, or 12, you are welcome to join us. You do not have to be a junior leader. Makes sense if you are, but if you're not, that's okay. And we would love to have you join us. As Amanda and Kylie both have mentioned, there's going to be a number of different activities and resources that you will learn personally, but also things that you'll be able to take back to your 4-H programs at home or your other youth-based programs at home, and to be able to utilize those. So we're excited to be able to continue to grow that program. Amanda, as you mentioned, last year was our first, and after a couple of years of being off due to the pandemic. And so we're excited to see this program continue to grow in 2023. So Kylie and Amanda, you both have obviously graduated the high school program and the 4-H program participation in Vanderburgh County, and now are here at Purdue's campus. And as a result of that, or partly as a result of that, you are currently also involved in Purdue Collegiate 4-H. And some of our folks listening may not know that there is a collegiate 4-H. So Amanda, we'll have you start off. Give us an idea of what is collegiate 4-H and what do you do?
So Collegiate 4-H obviously has 4-H in it. So we run the meetings a lot like a normal 4-H meeting that you would have in regular 4-H. It's just college students. So we do a lot of great things. Like we're getting ready to do an officer training with a county that's close, to teach our officers things that they can do better and just learn how to do their job. If they don't know exactly what they're doing, they're going to know how soon. So we do a lot of great things like that, community service. We do some fun things during our meetings. So yeah. And I'm actually the social media girl right now. So I'm really enjoying that.
And letting everybody know what's happening. So that's fantastic. And so Kylie, one of the people she's letting you know is you. What are some things that you've experienced so far in just the first few months of Collegiate 4-H, and what would be some things you might be looking forward to coming up?
So the first few months of Collegiate 4-H is a lot of shared experiences. Everybody comes from different areas within and without of Indiana. We all bring a lot of different past experiences at the table. So everyone's sharing how they did stuff in 4-H if they were in the regular program is really interesting. Everybody's had a different path and a different tale to tell. So it's nice to hear. In the future, I'm looking forward to some more leadership stuff within the regular 4-H program as well as within the college at Purdue here. So I know there's exciting.
Exactly. And I think what we find is there are a number of folks that are joining us from beyond Indiana. That's kind of exciting to be able to see that and to learn from them, as you mentioned. And I think there's lots of different diversity within Purdue Collegiate 4-H, because it's sometimes you think it's just going to be those in ag majors. But Amanda, what you're in construction management, that's not an ag. We've got several that are across the street, so to speak, across State Street in engineering and education and some of the sciences as well. So I think it's not just an ag program at all. It is very, very diverse that way. And it's exciting to be able to see that those folks come together. If you or someone you know is in college, wherever you might be, if you don't have an established Collegiate 4-H club, you can start one at your university. So that would be something to think about. Not very difficult to get one started in most cases. So we'd encourage you to reach out perhaps to a local 4-H educator. You can reach out to us here on campus and we can give you some ideas about how you might be able to start that. If by chance you are at Purdue University, check us out, Purdue Collegiate 4-H. We typically meet a couple of Thursday evenings each month, about 6 o'clock, and we would love to have you join us as a part of that program. Kylie and Amanda, as we kind of wrap up our time together today with the 4-H Clover call, I'd like for you to share a little bit about kind of your thoughts moving forward. How has 4-H perhaps helped you to get to where you are? How does 4-H going to help you think in the future as you take a look at what you might like to do 5-10 years down the road? Kylie, I'm going to start with you.
4-H overall has really shaped my my whole life since I started in the 3rd grade. It's given me leadership opportunities and experiences I never would have thought of when I started. Coming from one parent who was a 10-year 4-H member, coming from one parent who had no idea what 4-H was a nice learning experience, I think, for my whole family. And we've really adopted the Vanderburgh County program into our home. We really don't think you could see 4-H in our lives any other way. 4-H has really shaped my career. I am an agribusiness animal science dual major here at Purdue, and my experience raising livestock at home, but also showing livestock, has really pushed me to where looking for a career in the animal sciences. I'm actually the second person to win both large and small supreme showmanship in Vanderburgh County, all within 1 year. So it was a huge accomplishment and a goal of mine that I reached. And I would never would have done that if I wasn't in 4-H, and I'm really proud of that. 4-H is actually helping me pay for my education more than just the scholarships I've won through the 4-H Foundation. I am very grateful to receive another scholarship through Purdue that pays for most of my tuition because I'm a 4-H alum and I'm in the College of Ag. So there's lots of great opportunities, and I've had employers see 4-H on a resume and say, wow, that's really great. You've really done something. You've had experiences. And they actually really recognize that. That's part of the reason I got the internship for next summer already, because they seen 4-H on my resume and liked all the experience I had. So 4-H is really a well-rounded program, and it really reaches anyone. You don't have to be in livestock. You don't have to be in animal agriculture. It touches any part if you just let it. It can really make a worthwhile experience for anyone, no matter your background. So I'm really proud to be a 4-H alum.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kylie. Amanda, what do you think about 4-H and its impact on you now and in the future?
I think that 4-H has definitely shaped who I am today. Unlike Kylie, both my parents were in 4-H, and they've had a really strong appearance in the Vanderburgh County 4-H program for a long time. So I kind of grew up with it ever since I was really little because my grandparents were also involved. So it's kind of been in my family and I grew up with it. And just having all the experiences, not only for the leadership, but the community service, it's how I got my scholarship from the 4-H Foundation. And that's helping me to achieve my goals in receiving my degree from Purdue. And I hope to become a great interior designer or design construction person in my future career. It has also allowed me to travel around different places in the US. We haven't really gotten to go much further west than Arkansas, but I really enjoyed going to the Global Gateway experience, and I got to go to Atlanta for National Congress, and I went to CWF in Washington, D.C. I went to Chicago. It just, overall, they have so many different opportunities for you that you could never get from a different program.
Fantastic. So Kylie and Amanda, I really appreciate you taking time to join us today. Congratulations again on all of your accomplishments. And thank you for the service that you're continuing to provide to 4-H, Collegiate 4-H, and also back home, I'm sure, and other ways that you're going to continue to provide opportunities for other young people to be able to have some of these similar experiences that you've had. So we really do appreciate that. And again, thank you for taking time to be with us today. Again, this is Steve McKinley coming to you with the Indiana 4-H Clover Call. We thank Amanda, we thank Kylie for them being with us today, and we thank you for joining us and ask that you would come back next time to see what we have up for you, the next edition of the Indiana 4-H Clover Call. Until then, we hope you have a great day. Thanks all. Interested in learning more about Indiana 4-H? We invite you to visit our website, extension.purdue.edu/4H, or contact your local Purdue Extension office and ask for the 4-H Youth Development Extension Educator. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast so you won't miss an episode. We look forward to joining you again on the next Indiana 4-H Clover Call.